it's not the beginning of a very long journey because no one wants to hear that, but it's the beginning of the beginning. And if you stick at it, all these other kind of avenues open up, don't they? And then,
I think all of this is like, I sort of look at it through the lens of a video game. Sometimes you start off with your avatar that's incapable. It doesn't, if you think of your sort of Grand Theft Auto avatar, he can run a bit but gets tired. He's not very strong. He's not very capable. He doesn't have many options. And all this stuff is about increasing our options. The world is an amazing place. And I don't train just to be better at training, but I train because I'm the only dad in the playground that's doing cartwheels with my son and running around doing roly-polies. And because it allows my body to not get in the way of my imagination and allows my body to get out of the way of me enjoying my son and my family and life and hiking and whatever. Like, it just completely blows the doors open on options.
Yeah, if I want to jump and walk along a tree trunk with my 6-year-old because they're playing in the woods, I can do that. I don't have to worry about jumping off it and my knees going, or my balance going, or being. I mean, my son this morning, he said, I want to run to school. So it was about 3/4 of a mile and he wanted to run. So
you let him go, yeah?
Yeah, I let him go. He's just like, I just said, just watch some of the the lorries. Just get out of the way of them.
Yeah, and I'll see you at the gates at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the 3-year-old. We've lost a few 3-year-olds that way, but
I just want to pause there because you just said something which I'm going to nick, if you don't mind.
I've just written it down.
You've got to quote me for the first 3 times. You quote me for the first 3 times, and then it's yours. That's another Dan John line, and I'm not going to quote him again.
This is true, but you've just said something that I say in my way the whole time is move towards freedom, right? I've even got it tattooed on my chest, right? Because the whole thing is like,
the KB6 underneath your tattoo now. That you got to add that.
Yeah. Instead, but you've put me off now. I forgot what I was going to say. No. So move towards freedom, because I keep saying like people are locked by their bodies, and they see someone like go and hike in mountains and this and that. And they're going, "Oh, I'd love to be able to do that." And it's like, well, you can. And you've just said my body does not get in the way of my imagination, which is a way better way of saying it. So
you'd have to pay more for
laser removal and get that tattoo.
I'll get a cover up done.
But the guy who came up with "Let's Ready to Rumble." He sues people whenever they use that.
Do you say that a lot, or did you just make that up on the spot?
No, I do. I do say that a lot. That that's one of those things that it's mine. It's mine. No.
You better get copyrighted on that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's something I sort of obsess over because, like, I love training and I love the progress of accumulating whatever numbers, better times with long cycle, more reps, whatever. I do love that process, but it's not the point. The point of it all is so that when we go on holiday and you see a mountain, I'm like, why not? Let's go to the top of it, and I don't have to think about if I can. There's very little, this sounds super arrogant, but there's very little I physically can't do, right? Like, you just sort of pick something. Try surfing, try hiking, whatever. It doesn't matter, because, and it's not a lot of time. Like, if we're talking to our client base right now, all you have to do is find 20 minutes 4 times a week, let's say. Because you can smash yourself in 20 minutes 4 times a week. You can get stronger, you can get fitter, you can get better in 20 minutes 4 times a week. And I always say 4 is the magic number, because instead of 3, that was growing up for me, everyone's number was, I got to the gym 3 times a week, or I exercised 3 times a week. That's still the minority of your time. But you add 1 day to that, and all of a sudden it's 4 out of 7. That's the majority of your time taking strides towards health, progress, and as a result, you flip a switch where the way you think about food changes, because you're training the majority of the time. So your food is not an obsession. You're just thinking, how am I eating correctly? And then that switches off after a few months because it becomes a habit. But if you're doing that 20-minute workout 4 times a week, in a year's time, you're going to have so many more options when you're out with your kids, when you're walking with your wife, when you're on holiday. you've just got options, and that more options is never a bad thing when you're talking about the world and life and what you've got to choose from.
Honestly, you've made my day with that. I love that. I absolutely love it. Seriously, I'm not. No, seriously.